You're in the Navy, remember? It's not a job, it's an adventure.
Money now and a lot more when I get in that office. I can take that to the bank.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
Oh my God, we're gonna die.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Film Fights. I am your fearless host, Jono Rodriguez. And with me, of course, is my kick-ass man, my cut-the-grass man, my wearing glasses man, who plays the bass man, Conrad Hartman. How are you doing, Conrad?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm feeling like a martial arts expert in a sea of weaklings.
I'm great, Jono.
I said
great.
Conrad, not Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
Get out of
sorry.
here.
Yeah, I know.
Get out of your bead-wearing, planet-saving ass.
Beating with ham sweats.
God. You know, the thing about the environment is...
You know, the thing that I really respect about martial arts... sorry, that hero sandwich hit me sideways.
Speaking of heroes, I'm one.
That's why I only eat heroes.
Because you eat what you are. You are what you eat.
It's hard to do a Seagal impression without going into Trump.
I was about to make a comment about that. No, the thing is, you have to scrunch your face not as much. It's more about the eyes and not the mouth.
So do a Trump impression, but be not as weird. But more martial arts centric.
Not as racist, sexist. Or
not as.
Pure evil. Yeah,
right.
not
There's
as.
still some.
There's still some.
Just not, it's like, you know, you don't dump the herb jar onto your steak. You give it just a little too much.
A little too much to where it's like, ooh,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, how's it going?
I'm good. Oh my God, you've never asked me.
That's right. I'm sorry. It's been weighing on my conscience.
I mean,
That's right. Not conscience.
Conscious. Well, because you're a conscientious objector, so, you know.
Yeah.
Unlike Steven Seagal.
I object to you sharing your feelings with me. So
I object to these movie choices. Well, at least...
movie choices? Oh, do we talk about movies on this show?
I don't know. It sounds like we talk about politicians and actors who are...
Well, then maybe I should clarify. Here on Film Fights, we pick two movies, we pit them against one another in a brutal grudge match, with one of them coming out on top to reign supreme. And, you know... I don't feel like I need to tell you this, but just in case you haven't put it together yet, this week we're hitting the mother load of bad mothers, and that's Steven Seagal off. That's right. We're talking about Hard to Kill versus Under Siege.
Oh yeah, possibly the greatest. Well, in quotes. There's several quotes over that word. Steven Seagal movies that were ever made.
Great can also be used to describe something that's large.
Oh, he was large.
And
well, it was just before.
Even larger now.
He's even larger now, yeah. He's so larger than life that death daren't come around.
I saw an interview clip with him, like a recent one. It has to be like within the past 10 years. And it was with...
I was about to go because you're like a recent one. I'm like, certainly not in the last 5 years because...
He was being interviewed by Pierce Morgan, who I don't like, but Pierce Morgan says, "So, are you still dangerous?" Steven Seagal's like, nods like, "Man, what do you think, fatso?" Even though he's fatter. He didn't say that, but you could tell that's what he's thinking.
Yeah, he just like looks at him, looks down, and then just like waves a hand over his body like, "Hey, what do you think?"
He just looks at him. with the same expression, the only one he's capable of making.
Yeah, with these scrunched eyes, like we said.
So, we've kind of gotten away from one of us picking one movie and one of us picking the other movie, but actually this week we kind of did that.
Yeah. Time to go back to what we were known for. I know all you lovely spectators were like, hey, how come you guys don't pick up?
That's right. We're talking to the both of you that remember the original format, but we wanted to do Steven Seagal. Jono's recommendation was Hard to Kill. Mine's Under Siege.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's because Under Siege was the only one out of these two movies that I'd seen.
Yeah, and those of you who follow the show know that Conrad doesn't watch, movies.
Yes, I do. I just watch the same ones over and over again.
Me too, and they're all Steven Seagal movies. But but no, like with the same with the Baseball Kids movie from a couple weeks ago. He had never seen The Sandlot, and that's still that's so crazy. You guys' mind, you're still picking up bits of your mind because it was so blown.
Totally.
You grew up during that time, you dum-dum. No. Hey, stop calling Conrad a dum-dum, guys. But no, Steven Seagal was very much in my life because my brother, he was a karate master person. He might yell at me for saying that because it was Jeet Kune Do that he did.
And Steven Seagal would say, karate.
Yeah, because he's Japanese, as he has literally said many times. Just because you buy a dojo over there and live there for a couple years doesn't make you Japanese.
Oh my god.
No, but I'd seen all of his. Well, when I say all of his movies, it's kind of like when you say, "Oh yeah, The Simpsons is great." You're really talking about the first few years.
Yeah, right.
So I had seen the first, I guess, half dozen to a dozen of his movies. And so I'm very excited to get into this because I know these movies pretty well. Under Siege, not super. I have not rewatched that in a while, but Hard to Kill is definitely a yearly watch.
Whoa, that is. You have more free time than I thought you did.
Yeah, it's working on the show. Watch Hard to Kill. Back to the show.
You know what? It's a Friday. I don't want to do anything crazy. I'm just going to do the same thing I do every Friday. I'm going to curl up on the couch, a nice glass of 7-Eleven wine, throw Hard to Kill on the VCR.
Yeah, I just throw it on it.
Heat up a taco pizza.
Because I don't actually put it in the VCR because I memorized it. So I put it on the VCR and I sit back and I just close my eyes and just think about the movie. And you know what? Surprisingly, I'm only 5 minutes off.
Yeah.
Because when I get to the credits in my head, I'm like, you know what? I forgot that part. I forgot that part. When Steven Seagal kills Dean Norris, sometimes I forget.
So yeah, let's get into it. Hard to Kill.
Hard to Quill.
Hard to Quill.
This is my favorite movie of all time that stars Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock. Which I think there's two.
Right.
Those movies. Yeah. And Kelly LeBrock, everyone knows, is or was the wife of real life wife, starring Kelly LeBrock and Steven Seagal.
Coming next week on TLC.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it if TLC was like, hey, let's do a reality show of celebrities who used to be married and put them in a house
and used to be famous. Oh my God, it's the surreal life, but they're married.
Yeah.
COVID, it's safer.
It's the real life, the depressing real life.
Kelly,
did you bring me my steaks?
No, he's vegan. That's why he's.
Yeah, I know they're beyond steaks. But I still buy them by the case, just like I did when I was eating T-bones.
They used to call me T-Bone. I ate so many of them. and then I got T-boned in real life a lot. So Hard to Kill, yeah, great movie. I watched this growing up. As I mentioned, my brother was super into martial arts, so I saw all the stuff. I was heavy in Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Steven Seagal, all that stuff. And so the story of Hard to Kill, everyone knows the story.
It's a tale as old as time. It may as well have come from a German fairy tale.
Yeah, because that's where all stories come from.
Yeah, well, like it's basically a reimagining of the story Der Glockennacken.
Who don't come a Glocken.
Yeah, when this Glockensprachen don't come a socken.
I thought you were going to say it's the classic tale of Hansel and Gretel, where Steven Seagal is Hansel and Gretel is played by Kelly LeBrock. Because, the real story, they were, incestuous. And after Hansel, was going through training, Gretel was like, hey, I left a path of food here, and let's have sex. True story. Now,
And Dean Norris is the witch.
no, the senator is the witch. Because he's like, I built a house made of candy, and you could take that to the bank. The candy bank. Now,
That's right.
So the story is about Mason Storm, who finds out, a senator's crooked. Who knew? Gee, you only had to throw a rock in
Well,
the crowd.
first he's just videotaping on a camcorder
On an old cell phone, like a flip phone.
on a big camcorder, very sneaky.
Yeah.
He's filming these Dick Tracy-esque gangsters who literally say the phrase, murder is a serious business.
They're on the docks and everything. It's like,
And he doesn't
He's like, and there's one guy, I don't recognize his voice, but I'm going to find out
who he is because he's crooked or something.
and yeah, there's no setup to this. The credits are still showing up as he's in the second act of a normal movie, and they're like, "Hey, did you hear that?" And then they go after him, and he
Batman's their ass.
Yeah, he gets the tape, and he's like, "Fucking, I got him on video, I got him on audio. I'm going to TMZ."
I've got him dead to rights, starring whatever his name was.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
Sure.
No, that was Death Warrant. Now, so he's like, yes, I did it. I am so hot right now. I'm going to go to the convenience store, pick up some champagne, and fuck my wife.
All right. So this is my favorite moment in the entire movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. This. If you're talking Steven Seagal, if we're talking Seagal, top shelf, convenience store scene in Hard to Kill.
This is the epitome Steven Seagal, suit, no tie, ponytail. Oh, have you noticed, by the way, over time, his widow's peak has developed? He didn't always have a big widow's peak. It's grown with his vampiric powers.
So he's becoming Dracula.
He's becoming fat Dracula. It's not fat shaming if he's a bad person.
So it's not even a widow's peak, it's a widow's spire.
It's a widow's spire. That's right. It's almost like that guy from the Misfits.
Glenn Danzig? Oh no, Jerry Only.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, sure.
And of course, the store owner is that actor that's always chewing on an unlit cigar.
Yeah. Oh, it's so wet. It's practically mashed potatoes in his mouth. He's just
You're just sucking on that sweet, wet tobacco.
And nothing screams professionalism like chewing on a cigar when customers are coming in.
And this is setting that stereotype of the guy in New York where you walk in and they're like, yeah, what do you want, Mac? Yeah, I'm just watching my surveillance videos. I don't care too much for the Oscars. They never did nothing for me. Anyway, what can I do yous fors? And
Steven Seagal, very reasonable ask, which is, hey, do you have any champagne? And his response, very aggressively, oh yeah, it's right over there by the caviar, you jackass.
Yeah, he's not Your Highness. Oh,
la-di-da.
Pardon me, let me just move my platinum deed out of the way. It's so hard for me to open the till with these diamond rings all over my freaking hands over here. This ain't actually a cigar. It's King Tutankhamun's penis. Your Majesty.
Watch the doilies, Mac. But then he's like, yeah, it's actually right there. It's right by the beer.
Anyway, he literally says, yeah, there's some in the cooler.
Yeah, it's so aggressive.
So you do keep it stocked, but if someone asks for it, they're met with derision. You don't want to take their money.
Yeah, I mean, like if you went there into a convenience store and said, "Hey, do you guys carry People magazine?" It's like, whoa, we got a reader.
Yeah, it's next to the Us Weekly. You go to the grocery store and you're like, yeah, pardon me, do you have any shrimp? Oh! Yeah, it's sitting right over there on top of my Scrooge McDuck-style pile of gold doubloons, you frickin' asshole. Aisle 6.
They were just caught this morning.
Yeah, I went to the frickin' Mediterranean in my private yacht, threw my golden net in the water, and I hand-selected the very nicest shrimp for yous. Ooh, they're so nice, we call them prawns here. Anyway, yeah, they're at the butcher counter. We got plenty. Never frozen. We take pride in them.
Why do they keep hiring this guy at all these places? He's so terrible. So yeah, he's like being a dick, but he's supposed to be charming.
Yeah,
and then these thugs.
Oh,
90s thugs, everyone, which means they're all Mexican.
They were.
Yeah, and
like. The actors looked Hispanic, but they were also like comically like one of them was wearing a hairnet for some reason,
which was the style at the time.
Which was the style at the time for hoodlums.
Yeah, he goes in and then,
hey, pendejo.
You wanna get fucked up tonight? Mi amigo. Their words.
Well, their style.
Inflection.
Yep. Their style, not ours.
And so they come in and they're like, hey, puto, we're going to rob the store. Because he's also from New York.
That's basically a direct quote. Like, they really do. They come in hot and also, for some reason, they're like, yeah, remember us? Or wait, that's his. Yeah,
that's
like,
right. He's like,
hey, pendejo, you remember me? And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember these guys. They're no good.
Yeah, and he's basically like, get out of the way, Steven Seagal. I got this. He pulls out a bat. And he's behind a counter. So he's like 3 to 4 feet away from them. Pulls out a bat on a guy holding a shotgun to his face. And he's like...
Well, first he's like gives him the money from the drawer.
Oh, he gives him his money, which looks like crumpled ones.
It looks like it's like $10.
And he says, here, take my life savings.
Was that a snarky remark? Like the champagne? This guy's mouth is what got him into trouble. Oh, yeah, here, take my freaking life savings. Asshole.
Blam! Just blow him away.
Yep. Shot with a shotgun for no reason.
And of course, they pull the gun on Steven Seagal, and he's like, here we go again.
Just another day in the life of being a detective.
Yeah, it was just an hour ago I was busting the senator. And he's like, oh, you only got one shot, but there's 4 of you. What? What does
That's
that
a direct
mean?
quote, lovely spectators.
Oh, by the way, you think we're going to talk about the movie? We're just talking about this scene.
In fact, forget Under Siege.
Welcome to the Hard to Kill hour. It's hard to kill on the hour, every hour. We dissect a different scene. Oh my God, that would be a great idea. A podcast that is it's hard to kill, hard to pod.
Future Jono, mail this to yourself.
Yeah. We could do at least 12 episodes. Like hour long.
Yeah, so he says you've only got one shot left. There's 4 of you, and you only got one shot. He's going to shoot his gang.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh,
get
he's
that.
saying, "Oh, that's too bad. That's going to make you all." And then the camera zooms into his face. Hard to kill.
Oh yeah, no one ever says hard to kill in this. You would think the bad guy would be like, this guy's hard to kill. We've been trying to do it the whole movie. But he takes them all out real easily, and he had okay. So let's talk about Steven Seagal's moveset because he uses all of it in this scene.
Yep.
One of them is a guy stupidly charges at him, and all he does is just pushes them. Yeah, he takes a sidestep and pushes them into like a bunch of shit. He does that in like every fucking movie.
Right.
Other move, the hand. Right?
Where you hold someone's hand and bend it backwards from their fingers.
And makes them drop to a knee, and it looks like they're proposing to him awkwardly. Look at my hand.
And then Steven Seagal's like, I don't. Kicks him in the face.
And then another move. He's got him on the ground, grabs the foot, and twists it like 1,000 degrees. Twists it
unscrews it.
He unscrews the foot.
Now you can't walk. I just unscrewed your foot, pal.
Looks like it's a walk hard to kill.
Yeah, he's basically like a Street Fighter character with no special moves. Like you haven't figured out the special combos
You're
yet.
Just spamming the trip button.
Right. So he's like running back and forth, just doing the same two moves over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, I love action movies and I love martial arts movies, but like when they're so choreographed that you're like they're almost like dancing.
Yeah.
That's all Steven Seagal movies.
It is. No, you're exactly correct. It's like when you see oh shit, yeah, we'll talk about it in the Under Siege, but like when you see two characters that you've never seen hold a knife ever or a sword or whatever, and they just instantly both know how to knife fight or sword fight, and you're like, what?
Sure.
And it's always like just the standard, like, you know, coming at you diagonally and then coming at you diagonally. Like, if I had a sword, I'd just be like maniacally throwing it around.
Oh my God, if I had a sword, I'd just be holding it in front of my face being like, okay, I've got a sword now, leave me alone. Please don't hurt me.
If I had a sword, it would just be on the ground because I can't pick it up.
The swords are heavy.
They're really heavy. What are they made of? Like metal?
They're made of sword.
They're made of wrought iron. You know, to prove a point, right? It's all about masculinity with those.
That's right.
That's why they're phallic shaped.
So then after this scuffle, smash cut to Steven Seagal being at the ambulances and whatever, the commissioner and the mayor shaking his hand and being like, great job, or Mason Storm. Here's the key to the city.
Yeah, here's a commemorative plaque and an award.
We had this made while you were waiting on us to...
You got a civilian killed and a building blew up, but hey.
Hey, by action movie rules, you're doing all right, pal.
You may have killed or have gotten arrested the worst kind of scumbags who could ever live, Latinos. See, the movies.
I know, yeah, they frame it that way. Yeah, when it's because they're so over the top. But
no, that's a Stallone movie. We'll get to that some other time.
Oh yeah.
So Seagal comes home with his cool tape, and he's like, "Oh man, I got evidence on the senator. I just killed a bunch of guys. I'm ready to bone. I'm ready to have a little brother for my son."
Are you ready to go to the bone zone?
And he has the champagne, and they're taking it upstairs, and she goes, "Oh, you brought champagne?" He goes, "Yeah. Does that put you in the mood or a little bit or whatever?" And she's like, "I had to bribe our son to go to sleep. I gave him," this is a direct quote, 6 cookies and a glass of orange juice.
Oh yeah, I grew up with cookies and orange juice all the time.
Of course, yeah, you know. Sometimes
I dip it in the orange juice sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's as refreshing as sardines and milk, you know? I mean, it's just one of those classic pairings.
You need to swap that. It should be sardines and orange juice and cookies and milk. That's how
I had to bribe our son with 6 tins of sardines and a glass of milk.
Well, see, I can relate, though. I'm dyslexic as well. I would have made the same mistake.
Yeah, true. I had to basically give our son high blood pressure from all the salt of canned fish and also mercury poisoning so that he would shut the fuck up for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But
it was a different time.
Yeah, aside from the fact that those flavors would be terrible, you gave your son basically a bag of sugar and said, "Now go to sleep."
Yeah, that doesn't work in the real world.
And
who shows up? Who shows up at the house?
More Mexicans.
No, the worst people. White. Yeah, white crooked cops and senators.
That's more realistic.
That's more realistic.
Yeah.
They show up and they're like, fuck you, Mason Storm. I'm so jealous of that name. I'm going to kill you.
Guess what? I'm Mason Storm now.
And I love that after they blow him away, they like plant his place with like drugs. It's like, what?
Yeah, so they not okay. So they're on like walkie-talkies or radios, right? And they think that he's dead. They shoot his wife. His son gets away.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, you've got the drugs or whatever. And he's like, yep, I'm putting it on his nightstand. And then the other one's like, cool, I'm putting some in his bathroom. And they're just like these comically large bags of cocaine. Yeah. Like, yeah, you know how coke heads, they don't have any cocaine like on surfaces. It's just in bags sitting out in multiple places of the house.
That's how they know that's how they should know he's framed. Nobody with coke has it. They've already used it.
Right. Yeah, let alone these gigantic they'd just be dead. Yeah. Dead from coke.
Well, they took so much coke that parts of their body exploded and made it look like gunshot wounds.
Okay, so this movie came out at a time where this is a missed opportunity. They could have taken that scene, turned it into a soda commercial, because one of them could have been like, yeah, you got the Coke? And he'd be like, yeah, I'm putting it on his nightstand now. And he puts a bottle of Coca-Cola down. And then he's like, you idiot, I meant cocaine. He knows that it's wrong.
And he goes, but this is better than cocaine. And then he turns, profile shot with the Coke label facing
while he's
out.
talking to the guy on the other side of the radio, he's like, Johnny Criminal? Johnny Criminal? He can't get a hold of them. Like, and then he looks over. Steven Seagal has pounded the Coca-Cola and is now standing up. Blows him full of holes.
Yeah. And this is a commercial that would play during, any kid's show.
Yeah, or the Super Bowl.
That's a real thing. They used to have commercials that would tie in with movies that are rated R, but they would play during this is 7, it's prime, it's TGIF. I'm watching Family Matters, and here's a commercial for the movie Aliens where they're promoting Pepsi. It's like, I can't watch that, but thanks for showing me Pepsi.
Game over, man. Game over. And then they toss Bill Paxton a Pepsi. And chugs it.
More like game on. And then he gets disemboweled.
So then, they cover up Mason Storm's death to protect him instead of just protecting him.
Yeah, he goes into a coma, and by protecting him, they just change his name to John Doe. They don't give him security detail. They don't put him in a secret hospital or anything. No, it's just regular hospital where anyone can get at him.
They send him to California Coma Center, the Triple C, where everybody goes to chill out for a while.
Yeah, it's the quadruple C. That's right. It's the totally chill coma,
the
California.
TCCCC for people to see.
Now, Kelly LeBrock is an inappropriate nurse who likes to look at patients who are in comas' dicks while they're in a coma.
That's not okay, y'all. Just so you know.
It's not. Well, it was a different time, but it wasn't okay then, but it was kind of okay then.
Yeah.
Because who's going to know you're in a coma? Aren't you curious? I'm not at all.
What Steven Seagal's dick looks like? I got a pretty good idea, I think, from watching these.
It's probably chewed up.
Yeah, it probably looks like that cigar. Just wet and brown and short.
Oh, yeah, King Tut's.
With little ashes falling out of it.
And it's always moving from one side to the other. And it's never lit. So, bad guys come after him, and Kelly LeBrock's like, you know what? I think I got pretty good intuition. I'm going to put you in my car and drive you to a remote house that I'm house sitting, and then you're going to renovate yourself, reinvigorate. What do you say? Reinvent yourself. Yep, you're going to take yourself apart, put yourself back together.
Take a little you time, learn to make marinara sauce, learn to paint.
Learn to fight again.
Learn to fight.
Yeah, punch a plank of wood.
Got to learn to crow, got to learn to fly. Gotta learn to imagine food. This is basically Hook.
You have to learn to imagine again, Steven.
You're doing it, Steven.
He's like closing his eyes, like, I think I see success. So he gets better.
Yeah, there's a great montage that takes place either over 3 days or 18 years.
There's no way to know.
He's been in a coma for 7 years.
Yeah. And just when the bad guys found out what hospital he's at, they're like, oh shit, we got him. And then they're just, whoop, we lost him again.
Okay. Least security of any hospital anywhere. Fake doctor walks in and the receptionist just looks at him and goes, "Oh, hi, doctor," because he looks like a doctor.
Yeah, he's just wearing that means ipso facto you can just walk into a hospital with a white, long shirt.
Just make sure you're carrying like a file.
Yeah, make sure you're carrying a clipboard
and be like, yes, very bad. Oh, hello, nurse.
I concur.
Yes. Yeah, you got to say smart things.
Yes, surgery. So where's the surgery, ma'am?
Itis, scalpels. Yes, very busyness.
And he's like, excuse me, nurse. And she goes, doctor. And he goes, yeah, I don't think so. You're a woman. And it's 1990.
Yeah. And he hands the receptionist a flower from the bouquet that's right in front of her, pulls it out and hands it to her, and she melts.
Yeah, she's like, oh, wow, what a sweet, really awful looking doctor. Like, he looked like a maniac. His hair is all like everywhere. He's got a classic, evil guy goatee.
He was like the Unabomber plus Doc Brown plus Charles Manson in a lab coat.
With a little bit of Boris from like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, yes, I am doctor here for very normal surgery.
Here, I picked a flower for you, mein Liebchen.
Yeah, so then, after 7 years of muscle atrophy, it just takes a quick little montage of acupuncture and self-study martial arts to get back to his fighting weight of 800 pounds. No, this is when he was still svelte, actually.
He was good looking. He was able to wear a muscle tee, but not go full shirtless, but, a tank top, and he's like, it looks good. Anyone can look good in a
His
tank top.
co-stars were good enough to go full shirtless, though, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Or one of them was.
There was some topless stuff in here. There's topless in both of these movies, right?
Yeah.
He loves them topless.
Yeah. All the Seagal movies that we're going to be talking about have... Yeah.
Even if you watch On Deadly Ground, which was his first, like, leaning into the environmental message movies... had topless in it because he's like, yeah, free them milk bags.
When are we going to take a stand and free the massive mommy milkers?
You're really providing nourishment for the earth. No, it doesn't happen. But he does try to save the world in it, and it's stupid.
So pull out those puzzle jugs and let's get to work.
Wait, why are they puzzle jugs? Because they're
confusing. You got to figure them out.
Confusing to man.
Yeah. Exactly right.
What are they for? They're for nurturing.
I already said it. They're for nurturing the earth. Now pull them out.
Well, Steven Seagal pulled out the moves on future bad guys who are coming after him. Not from the future.
They're after the montage, so in the future from the beginning.
From the beginning of the movie, yeah. Because, he spent 7 years isolated to get ripped.
7 years in Tibet.
Yeah. That was the name of the people that she was house sitting for, John and Sally Tibet. So he spent 7 years in Tibet. That's true. It was actually that story is based off of Steven Seagal's story. And Kelly LeBrock comes from outside at the end of one of his training.
At the end of his training.
At the end of his the very end, not just of that day.
This was like his black belt test.
Yeah, this is her gift. This is his prize. Is your training is complete. I'm a woman. You know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, she walks in an evening gown with a flower and is like, I saw you working out and I thought you might like a flower. That's a spot on her impression.
Yeah, and you know what she's talking about. That's symbolism.
I'm talking about
all the way.
Like George O'Keeffe flower.
Yeah.
In it.
So open the door, son. That's not as good of a metaphor. Open the door and let that cigar in.
It's funny. That's the same gift that my landlord gave me when I wasn't able to pay the rent.
Oh, the Tibets?
Yeah. He was very gentle. And he was like, "Your training is complete."
Yeah, so he is. It's like in it's like in Zelda 2 when your hearts are. You need to refill your life, and you go into the house with the lady. And your heart. So Steven Seagal's hearts are at max right now.
His heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Well, his dick did for sure.
Still not huge. Well, according to her, it is. But
Oh yeah, I mean 3 times is 3 times, no matter how small.
hey, 3 times 0 is 0, baby.
It's actually negative, so it actually went further in. She had to go into him. Yeah. Now, he is like, all right, I got to find the guy who's playing the fake dad to my son, which actually is the real dad.
And he doesn't even know his son's alive yet.
No, he doesn't. He thinks he got blasted away the same way he and his old wife did.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, it's me, your son. I love you.
I mean, hi, Mr. Brock, or whatever. Like when you accidentally call your teacher mom.
Yeah, he should be a complete stranger to him because he was like 5.
Oh, you're talking about the son. I was talking about Steven Seagal talking to the cop who was watching his son all these years. When he sees him, he's like, "Hey, Dad. I mean,
Steven Seagal thinks
I mean, Officer Broccoli. I don't know why
broccoli."
You know what's funny? In my mind, I was thinking Brockeley, just like a made-up name. I didn't think about it being like the vegetable.
Oh my God, the dyslexia is rubbing off because you were thinking of LeBrock, and then you put broccoli.
Oh my God, what's happening to me?
Oh my God, broccoli is like a Bruce Lee.
Oh my God, Jono, your dyslexia has been a gas leak in the apartment the whole time.
Is that what that smell is? Oh my God. And all these lumps and tumors. Oh boy, it's all starting to make sense.
Sorry, so yeah, he finds out his son's alive and his friend was watching him all this time and his son recognizes him even though he should be basically a stranger.
Yeah. So he finds the son. He's like, okay, cool. My collection's almost complete. What else do I need? Oh, the tape. I need to find the tape. And what does he do? He gets Kelly LeBlanc. That gas leak is getting to me. He gets Kelly LeBlanc to fake being a realtor, even though this woman is renovating her place. I didn't understand what was going on there because it's like I see. Oh, I'm remembering now. They're renovating because they're trying to sell the house. Forget it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're there.
Oh yeah, he just breaks this piece of.
He just like, and I was like, those shelves are removable. You could have moved those, but no. He's like fingering the wall, like like you would a pie, and he reaches in there, breaks everything, and then when they come in there, he looks at the woman and goes, "Oh, these carpenters." Like he places the blame on the guys who are working, or he says like, "Oh, these." Whoops! This.
Oh,
house.
You know why? It's more racism. It's because they're Latino.
Yeah,
and he's still scarred from having to battle that gang, and he's like, "Oh, I bet it was these shady carpenters." And he's like, "You know what I mean," to the homeowner. I don't think I have to say it.
He does quotes like carpenters.
Yeah, carpenters.
Help.
Anyway, got my camera.
All right, bye.
I'm just leaving with something that is technically your property because
I didn't come in with it. Aren't you confused? So now he's got the tape, he's got the girl, he's got the son. Now what else does he need to do?
Be hard to kill.
Your be hard to kill is almost complete. And then he kills everybody. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. We don't need to go too deep into it because
he gets the senator and he
gets him.
Yeah, the senators. He realizes the senator's the bad guy because his catchphrase is, "You can take that to the bank," and he recognizes it on the tape. And then while he's alone...
Oh, my God, yes, that's... Okay, so oh, God, I'm so glad you said this. Because, 7 years have gone by, right?
He's been in a coma.
He's been in a coma.
With a fake beard.
And he just remembers him saying... And mind you, he's only heard him say it twice. Once when he was recording and once when he was listening to the playback. And then 7 years goes by... And then he happens to be sitting on the bed and the television's on, and then a commercial comes on for that senator, and he's doing like one of those stupid puff pieces, and he's like, blah, 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 and you could take that to the bank. And then suddenly it jogs his memory. Ah, that's the guy. And when he says that, what is he?
He says, I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator. To the blood bank.
Oh, I don't think that pause was long enough. That was such a long pause.
Right. I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator. To the blood bank.
And the entire time,
and then it shows that
he's by himself. And his face doesn't change. It's not even like how like Schwarzenegger or whoever would say it. It's like, I'm going to take you to the bank. And then they kind of like do an eyebrow thing or something. And it's like the blood bank. No, it's just, I'm going to take you to the bank. The blood bank.
Like, I almost wonder if he thought of that in that moment of filming. And when they're like, cut, he's like, oh my God, that's the greatest thing I've ever said.
And then the director was like, yeah, that was, but can you say it again? But like kind of really lean into it. He's like, no, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
You want me to twist your hand backwards? So he gets to the senator, and what does he do? Doesn't take him to the blood bank. He takes him to the lipstick bank because he shoves a shotgun into his mouth, which causes him to bleed. But
he bleeds lipstick.
He bleeds lipstick. Well, those senators.
Yeah, he looks like a sad Richard or Robert Smith. Like, just with smeared
it's just
lipstick.
Smeared all over his mouth.
He's got he's like, I guess boys do cry or whatever. And then.
Yeah, and then he's like lowering the shotgun to his downstairs area,
and fires a like warning shot past his nuts with a shotgun.
He fires a shotgun, which is a scatter shot, even if you're close up, and then he says, I missed. I never miss. But I mean, he would have like gotten his legs or still his dick, even if he was shooting at the ground at his feet, he's still getting hit.
Before that too, when he's fighting like the mini boss or whatever, the pre-bad guy, he has another great line, which is, "This is from my wife. Fuck you and die."
When he stabs him with the pool cue or whatever. Yeah. Well, that's what's funny is that he stabs him through the throat with the pool cue, which has killed him. But it's like insult to injury because he like also like fucking like kicks him in the face.
So when all this is said and done, all the cops rush in and they're like, "All right, good job, Hard to Kill. You did it.
You did it. We know you didn't do coke 7 years ago."
Yeah, no one else may have believed in you, but all 20 of us definitely did.
The whole time. We didn't know where you were in the hospital, though.
Honestly, I didn't know if you're the bad guy or not, but I didn't like that senator's policy on trash days.
I didn't like his policy on banks. Like, he kept promising he was going to take me there.
And honestly, I don't like going to the bank.
It's depressing. I'm living on $40 a year.
I do my banking online now.
Back then.
He was a pioneer on his cell phone the size of a briefcase. He was doing online banking.
And Steven Seagal wins. He truly was hard to kill. And he's like, well, I got myself a new wife, a new son, because it's a different actor. And they all go home. Where's home? Probably at the Tibets. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, they sold my old house. We were just kind of squatting at the place that you're house sitting and now have a family.
Yeah, Kelly LeBlanc is like, actually, I never lived anywhere. I was living at the Y.
Well, now it's time for piracy on the high seas.
Oh, the Pirate Bay.
Under Siege. Yep. Pirates of the Caribbean 6, Under Siege.
Under Siege 2, Dark Train or whatever.
I liked how Captain Jack Sparrow faced off with Steven Seagal, Cookman, and John Travolta playing his character from Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, who doesn't want that face?
It's a battle of land, sea, and space. This is my Johnny Depp.
Oh, I thought you were being John Travolta. A battle of the Johns.
So listen, if you do your impressions bad enough, they'll be good as another person that you're not doing it.
I know, it was bad still.
But you recognized it.
I recognize you.
Are you doing an impression of Conrad? Man, it's spot on every time.
It's like I'm there.
So Under Siege, I mean, this is a rare kind of gem, the facets of which, you know, they reach this apex, and those facets comprised of Gary Busey and Tommy Lee Jones and Mr. Under Siege himself, Steven Seagal, out here on the high seas. Get it that time?
Okay. Oh, so it's like under the siege. Under the siege. Life is better when you are wetter. Don't have a mullet. Be filled with bullets. Brat, brat. Sebastian the Crab pulls out a fucking gat. He's like, gra, gra, gra.
I cook the soup all day, then terrorists come on the ship to play. Oh yeah, except there were no seashells on the titties in this movie. That's right. There was some gratuitous.
Whoa, we're
toplessness.
skipping right to the meat, the milky jug meat.
This is the most we've ever piggishly spoken about female anatomy.
No, it's
on the
them.
show, probably. Yeah, it is true. This way it's framed. So here we are. We're on Under Siege planet, on the good old USS Battleship. And who is it but George H.W. Bush and Dick Cheney giving a speech about boats? And
Yeah.
ex-Navy SEAL Steven Seagal cooking up a hot mess of bouillabaisse
Yeah.
because he likes cooking French soups.
Well, apparently that's the captain's favorite. But then the captain says, oh, everybody loves it. Or something like that. He's like, oh, it's for everybody.
Oh, so he's one of those people like the office party. They're like, what kind of cake you want? You're like, oh, let's just get sheet, that kind of cake. Because sheet cake, like Betty Crocker that you just put in a sheet pan. Something that makes everyone happy. I don't have a preference, but really in the back of your head, you're like, German chocolate cake is what I'd really like. But
no one it's not a universally liked cake. It has coconut in it.
But it's your birthday. You pick what you want, but instead, that's why, he's really like, man, I'd really like some bubble gum and steak, but most people like bouillabaisse.
I mean, from what I understand from reading Cook magazine, bouillabaisse is enjoyed by all. Like, even it's a good meal for people who are vegan, gluten free,
nope,
allergic. Generally allergic.
Nope. See, Jono, this is propaganda from Big Bouillabaisse, just trying to get more people drinking that sweet hot fish broth.
Oh, you know what it is? I was reading Crook magazine. The liars.
It's not how to be a crook magazine. It's just lying to you, the reader.
Yeah, it's like Mad Magazine, but it's not funny. It's just a bunch of like fake facts and misinformation.
Oh, whoa! Did you know Doritos are more hydrating than water? Wow.
Yeah, I already knew that. I have a subscription.
That's why when I wake up in the morning, I throw a bag of Doritos in my magic bullet.
That's why
I don't add water. And I spoon that sludge straight from the magic bullet right into my gullet. From the bullet to the gullet.
Bullet to the gullet. Yeah, that's the slogan of Crook magazine. It's only $2.99 a month, guys.
$299 a month?
I mean, it's 300 pages. It's $1 a page.
I guess that's reasonable. And when you subtract all the savings the coupons get you, it's only $315 a month.
Wait,
Well,
how did it go up?
It's Crook magazine.
Oh,
They're
that's
not.
right. You end up paying more. Well, I mean, you're supporting
Right.
an indie, paper goods.
They're all just Columbia Record Club ads.
Get 10 CDs for a penny.
Hey, Gary Busey's in this movie.
Is he?
Frequent film fights subject.
Now you say frequent, and he's been in like 2 other movies.
That's pretty frequent.
We've done movies. No, Andy McDowell has been in 3 movies that we've done.
Oh, so now we got to do Busey versus McDowell.
Oh God, yeah.
Sometime.
We got to
Battle of the Threes.
We got to see who will take her off her Andy McDowell.
Well, this Battle of the Threes is on the high seas. Captain Krill is blowing his G's all over the place because he's throwing a big party for Captain Old Guy.
Yeah, Captain Old Guy is all like, okay, Gary Busey, shut up. It's my birthday, and I can cry if I want to. But don't cry into that bouillabaisse, says Steven Seagal, because, Gary Busey ends up putting another type of bodily fluid into it. What? No, he doesn't unzip his pants to do it.
Yeah, he spits cum out of his mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Steven Seagal, of course, is something that every battleship needs, which is an ex-Navy SEAL that is now the cook. And,
well, he's apparently like bosom buddies with the Captain Old Man because he says, he doesn't go anywhere without him.
Oh, yeah, and he's like, must be because he's such a great cook. It's Gary Busey.
Oh, I thought you were being Captain Old Man.
Must be because he's such a great cook, huh? And he calls him the bad F word.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because he...
The bad F word. I thought you were referencing a button a lady was wearing in the previous movie we did. What was it, a button that said like F word and then no?
Yeah, like the prohibit sign like Ghostbusters through the words, the F word. It doesn't say fuck. It says the F word.
It's a rated R movie, but she's a professional.
Yeah, she's not having any of that in her house.
Yeah. She can't even say the word.
Yeah.
But
not even to prohibit it.
But yeah, he calls him the other F word, and it's like, whoa, dude.
Like, whoa, different time. Men weren't allowed to cook without being homosexuals back then, I guess.
Even though, celebrity cooks were predominantly male.
And this was the time when they were becoming famous. Emeril Lagasse and Wolfgang Puck and Gordon Ramsay and stuff.
Yeah, you don't remember Kitchen Nightmares from the 90s? Much tamer.
Yeah, a lot of bright neon, like pinks and purples in the restaurants. A lot of servers on skates bringing you food. You don't do that on a boat, though.
No.
Because you'll fly off the side.
Well, no, you'll get nauseous, and then you'll have to take like date rape drugs like Miss July did.
So
implied.
They are flying a secret birthday helicopter onto the battleship. Listen, this is... I don't know if any of our lovely spectators have been in the Navy or Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. You obviously know what we're talking about. It's standard practice for the boat commander to have a surprise birthday helicopter after George Bush is on the boat.
Yeah.
So they're like, we've got a rock band. We've got some hoe from the Playboy. Yeah. That's... Oh, yeah, this was kind of meta because they said, like, yeah, she's Miss Centerfold 89. And she actually is a Playboy centerfold.
Yeah,
right?
the actress herself was in that. In fact, the magazine that he was showing the guy who was gawking at it, that was the very magazine she was in. So it's a parallel world where it was going to be an Ocean's 12 situation where Julia Roberts meets the character of Julia Roberts. Like, whoa.
It's the multiverse of madness.
Boy, you look familiar. Are you me?
Under Siege 3, Quantumania.
That would be Under Siege 3, Twins 2 with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, if you found a pair of people who looked alike...
Danny DeVito, I'm your brother, but we're actors in the same movie as meta.
Isn't it weird that we're twins?
So Tommy Lee Jones is the leader of the band, but not the singer. He's the harmonicist and MC of his own band.
Well, yeah, he's the band leader, and they're probably like going old school with it. You know how like the band leader was like the guy who sat in the back in the day. You know, like Buddy Rich or.
Here's the deal. Usually those bands. Wait, Buddy. Okay.
Well, because he was the drummer, but like the guy who with the saxophone.
When there is a literal just band leader that isn't like the singer and stuff, that's usually when bands are like, lots of people in them.
Oh yeah,
not one that's
yeah.
one guitar player, one bass player, one drummer,
No,
and a
like-
singer that doesn't play an instrument. And you're like, we probably need someone to rein all these guys in and keep them on tempo. I'm basically the conductor.
Well, no, it was like John Popper in Blues Traveler. He was the harmonica player and the band leader.
He was the singer, though, too.
Yeah,
Tommy Lee Jones was basically like the hype man for this band.
he was, and he stuck out like a sore thumb.
Oh, my God.
The other guys were dressed in like normal clothes, and
Except for the singer who was wearing a
he was
tuxedo.
wearing a tuxedo. I thought it was Frank Sinatra Jr. or something.
He looked like Frank Sinatra Jr. He had the like executive ring of hair too, and everything. Yeah, and Tommy Lee Jones is dressed like great grandpa's idea of a quote rock and roller
Yeah.
with his studded leather jacket,
Like from
sunglasses inside.
like the 70s or 80s,
yeah,
too.
3 big jangly cross necklaces.
He had like several decades worth of cliche on. He had
Yeah.
he had a tie-dye shirt, a leather jacket with studs, and then sunglasses, and then he had like a headband.
And
I mean,
granted, like Tommy Lee Jones wasn't old when this came out, but he wasn't like 25.
no,
He was like 40 probably.
Yeah, he was like 49.
He looked like he was. It looked like he was made out of leather, but to be fair, he's looked like
He's
that for a
always-
long time. Yeah, but like he's dressed like that, and he's like, "Woohoo! Here we go! It's time to party on this boat. I need to be a convincing actor because I'm actually a terrorist." Whoa! After we see Gary Busey do a terrible drag queen joke.
Oh yeah. Very offensive and canceled apparently.
It's you know what? It's offensive because it was terrible. Divine was like, I should have been hired for that role.
He would have done a better job. Busey is like, he's a bad guy, like through and through. At least Tommy Lee Jones, even though, okay, the 90s was interesting for Tommy Lee Jones. He played like the same lambastic bad guy in every 90s movie he was in, except for The Fugitive. Still lambastic, but he was a good guy. But he was just always this like, hey, yeah, I'm Tommy Jones. I'm going to kill you and I'm going to be Two-Face. Oh, wow. But he was just so wild. It's like, really? You were a CIA agent? I wouldn't have put that together.
Which is really funny because in Batman Forever, he told Jim Carrey, like, I really don't like you. I cannot, I can't support your buffoonery or whatever. And like,
Really?
he's being like the most ridiculous guy.
He
And I know we're not
is.
talking about that movie, but
I would love to someday because like I hated his Two-Face. He was just being the Joker. Like he wasn't being Two-Face at all. He had one face and it was maniacal the whole time.
they were like, Tommy Lee Jones, we want you to be you. Here's a plate of cocaine first.
Yeah, no director ever said, "Could you dial it down a little bit?" You're acting with Gary Busey, for God's sake.
Yeah. And so you've got basically 2 Gary Buseys, Tommy Lee Jones Busey and Gary Busey Jones.
Gary Busey Jones.
I came here to do 2 things, spit in your bouillabaisse and take over the ship in drag. And I guess I did both of those.
And then get punched out by you. And he's so aggressive, too, because when he comes down there and he's like, all right, everybody get out of here. I'm Gary Busey. Get the fuck out of here. No one's cooking nothing. We got a helicopter full of food and gangsters or whatever. And immediately, Steven Seagal punches him, and then he starts beating everybody up, like just full-on beating up officers until, like, he just 180s himself. And he's just like, yeah, all right. And he puts his hands up. He's like, all right.
Are you sure your name's not Gary Wussy? Yeah, it was easy for me to.
This is the other thing about Steven Seagal. He's got the same tone no matter what is happening around him. Mm-hmm. He's never like, you have to get down, or like, no. Or,
Well, that's because he's so cool. Just calm and
his
cool.
resting heart rate is like 20.
Yeah, especially when he's in a freezer that is 40 degrees. They actually say it's 40 degrees. And he's just in there. He's like, hey, come on, let me out. Come on. Don't you know he's jerking you around?
Under siege, more like under fridge.
Yeah, that's right. He knows these in a movie.
Wait, is he under it?
Well, he's not. He's freezing cold. He can't come up with these quips unless his brain's warm.
More like plundering the fridge, am I right? When he gets that gut.
Right. Yeah, they open the door. He's gained 15 pounds. He's just got like a frozen turkey leg, and he's licking an open bag of peas.
I'm trying to thaw it out with my tongue.
Peas? That's too healthy.
Well, they're butter peas.
He's got a whole uncooked turkey between like two pieces of bread.
And then he kicks the guy that opens the door, and he's like,
anyone got any mustard?
Remember when he's telling the guy, like, get my pies out of the oven?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He kept, like, going in and out of, like, a Louisiana accent. Did you get that? Pick up on that a little bit?
yes. And this is also something that you'll notice. And, hey, you watch these movies. I'm not making this up. When Steven Seagal... when his character talks to black people, he like talks in a different accent. Like when he's talking to Gary Busey, he's like, "Hey, quit spitting in my bouillabaisse." And then he's just talking to the black cooks. He's like, "Oh man," and you're like, "Whoa, that is not cool, dude."
Come on, cute ball, give it to us.
Yeah. So, but then he would just be like,
No, that's just my Louisiana coming out.
"Oh, why is it not coming out right now?" "Oh, it's coming out real good right now. Oh, that's my Cajun."
That's Cajun? Is that your Cajun or
It's
his
my-
Cajun? Oh, it's his Cajun. Okay,
It's me doing my version of his Cajun, which basically sounds like I got a marble shoved down my throat.
Only one.
It's a big one. It's a whatever the thumper one.
You got like one of those big jawbreakers.
Jawbreakers.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, oh no, terrorists take over the ship and kill Captain Old Man.
They kill Gary Busey kills Captain Old Man. He's like, "You're retired." And he shoots him in the face or whatever. And then he takes his captain's hat. And he's like, "I'm the captain now." And then
Look at me. Oh, well, you're dead.
And you know what? I will say, hey, man, props to these terror people because they were very organized and they shot a lot of people. And the threat is there because like the guy tries to put the moves on one of the terror guys and he's like gets shot up. And then Tommy Jones shoots the guy next to him. He's like, "Let that be a lesson to you.
Yeah.
If you get shot, the guy next to you's gonna get shot."
If you get shot, you might be a redneck.
That's right. Mullets and bullets, guys.
Mullets and bullets.
That sounds like a movie, right?
It does.
With
it
Jeff
does.
Foxworthy as the cop.
Yeah, I love that. So
this lowly cook, he's like, terrorists.
I'm going to tuck something that you can't tell what it is in the microwave. We're not going to worry about that for an hour.
I think it's just an old sweater. Or
And
something.
then an hour later, exactly when bad guys are in there, it blows up. Anyway,
Yeah, it blows up.
So the playmate that was on board, they give her these sedatives and then shove her in a cake.
Well, see, that's the problem I have with the only problem. Other than that,
the rest of it's airtight. Like the ship itself.
Yeah, it would get 100% from me, but it drops down to 25 because of this error. So Miss July, she is sedatived and goes to sleep, right? So my question is, did she fall asleep in the cake or did she fall asleep outside the cake? But either way, you have a problem. If she fell asleep outside the cake, that means when she woke up, she got in the cake when the room was empty and there's no one around.
I must have fallen asleep. Better get in the cake.
Yeah, or she fell asleep in the cake, in which, when she woke up and the music kicks on, she's like, "Oh, well, time to go on." And she comes out, and for some reason, like all performers, you keep your eyes closed when you pop out of a cake so that you don't see that the lights are off and no one's there.
Well, when we do stand-up, I keep my eyes closed the whole time because I get nervous.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
And so I don't like to know there's people looking at me.
I thought it was because that's how you roll. Also, I don't even look at you when we perform. So
well, and I don't know because my eyes are closed. So
yeah, so we both win. No, but so she's dancing sexily and her her fun is out for the world to see because
That's
she's
right.
Miss July. It's fine. She's okay with it. They paid her extra. Don't worry.
Yeah, she's a consenting adult. Chill out, everybody.
Right, yeah, movies had boobs in them back then, guys.
Get over it.
Relax.
Too late to cancel it.
Yeah, she's already not in movies. Don't worry. So Steven Seagal like gets like a fucking bazooka to her face and is like, "Who the fuck are you?"
This poor victim of the terror.
She's crying gallons of tears, and yet he has a gun in her face. Like, whoa, dude, chill.
And yet she's able to remain sort of composed, and she's like, "Look, I was getting air sick," which I guess happens.
Well, that means because she was like super into the band Air.
Oh, I thought Air Supply. And she didn't get to listen to it, so she was short on air. So anyway, you get it. And she's very reasonably like, "Look, I got air sickness," and the nice gentleman that was 80 years old but wearing a leather jacket gave me these air sickness pills. They were called Rufinol, whatever.
It was weird because the doctor who prescribed him was Bill Cosby.
The prescription just said Dr. Bro. And he was like, "I got these from the doctor at my old frat house." And I took them, and then, I became this now.
A mixed up zombie.
And he says, quote, "What is this blathering bullshit?" All right, bro.
And it's not even like if she were kind of doing a run-on sentence, kind of like, "Oh, I was in a helicopter, and then they gave me these pills, and then there was a guy over there." And then, if she was doing that, his response would have made sense. But she literally just said, "I got here, I felt sick, I took these pills, and I don't know what's going on." What is this fucking cockamamie bullshit?
Yeah, he's such a misogynist. He's just like, "Oh, I didn't ask for your life story over here, you broad."
Now cover up them bags.
Cover up them bags and open up them legs, because Papa's been on a boat too long.
And they're like, "No, Steven Seagal, the audition system is over. We're not getting girls in here anymore." Are you trying to tell me what to do in my own movie?
So then she's like, "I'll help you, or hide me." And then she's like, "I don't want to hide. Let me help you fight the terrorists." And he's like, "Okay." And then she's like, "I don't want to help you fight the terrorists." And he's like, "Tough bags."
Actually, they're quite firm. No, yeah. So she's like, "I want to help you be a bad guy killer." And so she's like, "But wait, I got to dress up real cute and tomboy-y because I'm a girl and the movie said so." So she dresses up in like, I don't know how they found an outfit that would fit her, because they're on a boat that's filled with mostly men. And,
do you have a baseball cap I could turn backwards and pull my hair through just so?
Yeah, just so. And they're walking along. Now, moments before they get to this moment I'm about to say, she's crying because she's scared to death.
Well, understandable.
And then later, I guess she just got over it, because now she's just like, "Ugh, I can't believe we're sidekicks."
This is like a little kid begging you to go to the zoo, and then 10 minutes in, they're like, "Oh, I'm hot and I'm thirsty," and I'm like, "I did this for I don't want to be here. This is for you." And he's like, "I tried to put you in a locker and tell you to shut up. You could have just chilled out for a while."
Yeah, she could have been safe, but no, she's just going to endanger herself. And I especially love fast forwarding because she's Miss July, and she's super girly. She's a girl, and yet when they get to they rescue some dudes, and one of them is the guy from Blood In Blood Out, and one of the cook guys, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just here for college, man. I didn't sign up for this." And she's like, "Tough titties, you fucking idiot." And then he's like, "Oh, how do you do the gun thing?" And she's like, "Lock and load, motherfucker." like she's a badass. She's not even fired a gun
God,
yet.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so back to terrorism.
Oh.
Back at home base, back in Houston or whatever, in the war room, some guy who's the captain, who's the leader of the military, is like, "Well, here's the deal. I hired these guys to assassinate, to overthrow a government, and then we decided to kill them, but then we didn't. And so now here they are to kill us, and it was so convoluted. I couldn't follow it.
They could have just been like, because the movie itself is already like simple. You're not trying to like split the atom here, guys. It's an action movie on a boat. It's Die Hard on a boat. It says that on the back of the goddamn DVD. It's Die Hard on a boat. So don't try to. And with Die Hard, that was pretty simple because it was actually pretty clever because Hans Gruber made it seem like they were just nameless terrorists who were stealing money, but it was so much more than that because they were making it look like that, but they were just like, oh no, we're not, we don't have a mission, we just want money. It should have just been that, but no. Tommy Lee Jones is like, oh, I used to be a CIA agent, and then they sent us on a mission, and then we were going to get assassinated, and I am butthurt about that, so it's 20 years later, I'm going to take revenge. It's like, no, you just want money. Like, just like, I mean...
Yeah, just quit getting us in the weeds. The point is just you want to fight Steven Seagal.
Yeah. Yeah, get to the knife fight already. Yeah. That's what all the lovely spectators will say, get to the knife fight! Right.
Well, so, we have some back and forth where, Gary Busey is like, Utah, get me 2 submarines. And he gets on the submarine.
Only got one.
We only got one. All right, well, that'll have to do. And he gets on the submarine.
The end.
And that basically is the end.
Well, like, okay, and even that part is convoluted. So they have these missiles, and they go through they have a crew of like 100 people. It's like they got an Amazon warehouse of people to come over there and go, all right, we're going to turn the entire battleship into a weird assembly line to carry the missiles up and over into the thing to put on a submarine, and then the submarine's going to go sell it to North Korea.
No, we're going to fire a warhead at Hawaii.
No, that was a secondary thing.
Oh, yeah,
they were just selling it, but in a last-ditch effort because the submarine got exploded, Tommy Jones was like, well, you know what? This is my fail-safe. I want to blow up Honolulu because they screwed me when I visited there one day.
I went there, and it was so beautiful. I teared up. And one of the guys made fun of me, and I never got over it.
And what's even worse is when I went to the gift shop, they ran out of nameplates of my name.
And I was like, no Tommy Lee Jones? Well, and they said, well, sir, they're only first names.
Well, we have a Thom. a Thom York.
We can give you a Crom.
And I know it's pronounced Tom York, guys. Okay, don't at me.
No, please add us.
Yes, please. Oh, actually,
engagement.
Yes, please. Yeah, tell me I'm wrong. Actually, I do think it's Thom. Isn't it Thom?
Isn't his middle name New? It's Thom New York.
Isn't that why there's Tom Thoms everywhere? Where you Okay, so knife fight.
Tommy Lee Jones and Steven.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Steven Stallone.
Steven Stallone
have the whole like,
we're not so different, you and me.
Oh yeah,
you're a crazy bad guy, and I'm the knight in shining armor. Oh, I guess we are pretty different.
What was stopping him from shooting him? Was it the movie?
Yeah, it was the director.
It's always that thing where they have it, and it's like it's not even a hey, I'm going to tell you my plan. No, it's just you lost your submarine, you lost all your money, you lost your mission, but I'm just gonna hold my gun and just say, hey, I'm going to send a missile. Or no, he already did. It wasn't even like building.
It was already going.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when Tommy Lee and crew locked like a third of the crew away in the ship or something?
Yeah, that didn't really go anywhere. It was supposed to.
I don't understand why. They locked some of the crew up, but not all of them.
Yeah, some of them were just in other areas.
Some of them were just like, oh, okay, you guys mind if I go just like have a cup of coffee, like read my zoo books magazines?
You know what? I take back what I said earlier where I said these guys were super organized and knew what they were doing because, yeah, there was a group of military guys who were just alone in like the break room. And then, of course, they didn't think about the girl who was in the cake, and they didn't think about the guy who was guarding Steven Seagal. That all could have been easily simplified with just one guy who just went like, hey, remember when we did that? Make sure you kill the guard and then kill Seagal, and then on your way back, kill those guys in the thing, and then bring Miss July up here because Daddy's lap is cold. No, so there were those 6 guys in the and they get rescued, and then they're like, I have a gun, ho ho ho, and
oh yeah, because Die Hard on a boat,
right? They said yo ho ho actually, yeah. And then because Tommy Jones is like, I've got a ace up my sleeve, I'm gonna drown all these guys. That'll make you come out, and then the tension is supposed to be, oh my goodness, he's gonna. And then immediately before you can finish your sentence, Steven Seagal runs into these guys. He's like, hey, I'm an ex-gunner. Hey, we've got lots of guns. Hey, let's do this. And it's like, oh, okay, well, then they're fine.
Oh, yeah, and for one moment, Steven Seagal puts on a Scuba Steve suit and swims around for a second, just long enough for them to, like, get mad at him and hurt his back. And then he's like, all right, well, that was a stupid plan.
Oh, yeah, he was almost dead to rights by the Irish guy, Tuxedo Man or whatever.
Curly-haired Tuxedo Man?
Yeah, curly-haired Tuxedo Man. Curly fry head. He was like, he had a gun on him, and he was like, well, you're about to die. And then he's about to shoot him, and then you hear a gunshot, but it wasn't from Curly Face. It was from Lady Face.
Which she mentioned earlier in the movie. She had 2 rules about killing. 1, not to date musicians.
Well, she has she's adding a 3rd rule. She can break the rules, which is a rule.
First rule, don't date musicians. Second rule, I don't kill. Third rule, I mean, those rules, are only really just like guidelines.
Yeah. 4th rule, don't get her wet. Seriously.
After midnight.
She won't multiply. She will subtract.
Oh, no, don't get her wet after midnight and feed her. She's going to multiply, and you don't want to have to pay child support.
You just throw them overboard. So Steven Seagal, he's like, oh, nice, you saved me. And then
I love the idea of seeing him going, oh, nice.
Nice. I can't imagine him saying any kind of cool lingo, actually.
I can't imagine him saying anything nice about another human being.
You know what I can't imagine? I can imagine him trying to floss, like
his teeth?
The dance.
Oh.
I had to clarify because no one could see me awkwardly do it in my chair. And he's just like, he's trying to go around his gut with his arms. He's like, yeah, this is real easy. You're not doing it right. You're just swinging them back and forth. You're not.
So this is what I do for cardio now.
You wrap a piece of floss around your body for cardio?
Yeah, makes me look thinner. Why don't you wear a girdle? Can't find one that fits. Knife fight. We haven't talked about the knife fight. It's like the lovely spectators are like Millhouse. Like, when are they going to get to the fireworks factory? All right, here we go. Knife fight. And now, lovely spectators, it's time for Con and John to review the reviews. I'm actually going to do music here. I don't know what, though. It's Review the Reviews, where Conrad and I pick a 1- and 5-star review of each of these movies, and we figure out which one more accurately depicts the movie.
And it should be said, these are sight unseen for the other film fighter. John and I have not shared these with one another previous to this moment.
And not even to you guys.
No,
this is being first heard and seen.
That's right.
Well, not seen by you guys.
But heard by you guys.
I mean, you might be able to see it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if powers are real. Are powers real?
So, Jono, you were tasked this week with finding reviews for Hard to Kill, and since we talked about that movie first, why don't you send it on down there?
I will send it down anywhere. So, I'm going to be starting with a 1-star, and then I'll be moving on to my 5-star.
Okay.
So, 1-star review titled DVD Not Very Good Movie. And this is in all caps, just so you know. Did you need to know that? I don't like this kind of movie. Boring movie. Coma, sleep all day, and kiss. I don't like it. Supposed to be action adventure all day. I like the part that says boring movie, coma, sleep all day, and kiss. I don't like it. Because I don't like it either. I don't like coma and kiss all day. I want action adventure all day.
Yeah, they really go hard on the all day part of this.
Well, they go hard to
all
kill.
Day to kill.
Hard to kill all day.
Hard to kill all day's night.
All right. So this is a 5-star review, and it is called. It is titled "Killer Storm." See what they did there? Because his name is Mason.
Oh,
Storm.
right.
The toughest name you could ever think of, Mason Storm.
What do? I build bricks and then I blow them over.
You know, it's because of this movie that that the action character that I want to make for a 90s movie that I'm going to soon make at some point in my life, maybe not, is Anvil Steel. And people call him Annie because it's like, oh, he's so tough he could be called a girl's name. Hey, yo, Annie.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is called I Love This Movie at the Theater. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong.
This is the title of the review?
No, the title's Killer Storm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I saw this movie at the theater when it came out. I love the action. He proves that the bad guys suck at fighting, and he get the nurse too. The number 2. That is so cool with a K. When he shot at the crooked senator and said, I missed. I never miss. They must have been smaller than I thought. I rolled on the floor laughing. Seagal is a kick-ass master.
Oh my God. Is this person 80 years old?
Or 8?
Yeah, or 8 or 80.
Which one? It's time to play our favorite game, 8 or 80. Dun, 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 dun,
What are
dun.
their views on snacks? Nope, that doesn't help.
Cashews? Go-Gurt. Which one?
Go-Gurt. Oh, man.
Oh, shit, that could be either.
Okay, do they have teeth? No. Ooh, it could be an 8-year-old that got punched out.
Yeah, it's Boyhood.
You're bringing the heat
All
today
right,
with those reviews.
Wait, so before, which one of these more accurately describes the movie?
Oh, I do not like coma, sleep, kiss all day.
That one?
Yeah. Because I did think that in that movie there was a long period of time where I was like, isn't this an action movie?
Oh, well, yeah,
And like not much was happening, and I was like, I too feel like I'm coma, sleep, kiss all day.
Well, he was getting action. He was getting massaged.
He was getting the worst massage ever. And he's like, get the fuck out of here.
No, he's like, get the fuck out of here. He's like out of breath when he's saying. I can only say 4 words.
Well, his lungs are atrophied from being in a coma.
His vocal cords are atrophied. All right, now present to you.
Okay,
present to me.
so presenting to you of me, Under Siege, 1-star review. This one is titled, Dirtbag Pretends to be a Cool Man Again.
Again? Wait, who are they describing? Tommy Jones?
Another outdated, cheap movie depicting Mr. Seagal breaking bones of, quote, evil dudes while saving a semi-mentally challenged princessy thing of a woman. Which is not... Okay, lots of brilliant acting job by named actor. Breaking bones showed from every angle, and lonely hero wins. Princess saved. If you enjoy coloring books, you will enjoy this movie. Otherwise, steer clear. 1 star.
Sounds like they were describing Princess Bride.
Well, at first it sounded like they hated it. Then it sounded like they liked it.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, wait, he's reading the 1-star review, right?
Yeah.
Wait, did you say somewhere in there, quote, bad guys? Is that what it's...
Quote, evil dudes,
Evil
end
dudes?
quote.
Who's quoting that? Oh, I see. He didn't say quote. I thought you were reading
It's
the
in
word
quotation
quote.
marks.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
Oh
you
my
can't just say evil dudes. You have to be like their quote. That's not from the movie. That's not
Well,
a quote from the movie.
He probably didn't want to mislead anyone that it was a horror movie. Oh my God.
Okay. Next up is my 5-star review.
All right.
This one is entitled, oh, and for future reference, when I say quote, lovely spectators, I mean it's in quotation marks.
Okay. That's good to know for me too.
I asked, quote, hell, Hell.
Yeah.
I asked, quote, hell, end quote, if he liked it, and he said, quote, yeah, end quote. That's the title.
I asked Hell if he liked it, and he said yeah.
Yep. This is better than milk most of the time.
End of review.
But I also like it with salad. Try to watch it with friends if you have friends. I don't. But I imagined it would be better that way. Sweet, sweet action flick.
Okay, so hold on. I need to break this down.
Go ahead.
Hell, and then he said yeah.
Yeah.
And then milk. I like milk. I also like salad.
So so first of all, the title does not come up in this review, so I don't know what they're talking about. Second of all, at first I thought maybe they were accidentally reviewing the wrong product, like some kind of creamy, like thing, like sour cream brand. But no, then they say try to watch it with friends if you have friends.
You can watch the sour cream.
Yeah, 5 stars.
What it sounds like? What if it's a? What if it's script to wake up a sleeper agent? It's so random.
Oh my God! I hope one of you lovely spectators isn't a James Bourne type bad person, though.
Yeah, you're not MK Ultra or something. Because it's like, who would naturally say that? No, that's so specific.
You know, I would agree that Under Siege is better than milk most of the time.
Most of the time, though, not fucking Horizon.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't like Under Siege in my coffee. I gotta have milk.
No, yeah. I mean, the good stuff, too. not the fake milk.
But if my choice is cookies with milk, orange juice, or Under Siege, the answer is Under Siege.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you have enough cookies, you can enjoy it with friends. I don't
have any. I don't. I'm just guessing, probably. So wait, if they don't have friends, who did they ask if they liked it?
Well,
yeah. So which one of these, Jono, do you think most accurately describes Under Siege?
well, the natural answer would be the 1-star review because they actually mentioned a princess, and I think that word was said once in that movie in a derogatory way towards Miss July.
Well, let's remember the 1-star review also called her mentally handicapped.
Well, she was crying when a gun was put at her face.
Oh, that's right. Different time.
I gotta go with the latter, though, because I watched this alone and wished I had friends. And now it comes to that time in every film fighter's life
where you got to talk about the birds and the bees.
The birds versus the bees.
The birds.
I'm the birds and the bees.
Hey, the birds versus bee movie. We would win. Well, you know, when a Hitchcock movie loves a Jerry Seinfeld movie very much, you get Uncanny Valley ants with
you get a Woody Allen Bug's Life ripoff.
Yeah. So what's it gonna be, my dear filmer man?
This is legit a really tough choice.
Was it?
Yeah, so they're both bad. And actually my pick is the one that I think is objectively worse. But because I laughed harder at it and enjoyed watching it more, I'm going to have to go Hard to Kill.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Even though I picked Under Siege, I had not seen Hard to Kill before. And, man, it was... I don't know how anyone could intentionally write a movie to be like that over-the-top stupid.
No, that's Stallone. I keep telling you. Over the
Seagal?
top. No, over the top. Well, it was a different time.
I was thinking of Bozo, Under the Big Top or whatever. Pee Wee Herman's Big Top Adventure Times.
Bozo. A different clown.
Yeah, get out of here, bozo. Get under the big top.
Oh, man, we got to talk about Big Top Pee-wee.
Jono, what say you, man?
Well, it's interesting you pick Hard to Kill because that is my favorite Steven Seagal movie. As I say, I watch it every Friday. Well, I have it on every Friday. Maybe I'm watching, maybe I'm not.
That's right. You're knitting. Maybe you're eating some hunky dunky sauce.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'm watching a different movie on a different screen. I have it picture in picture. It's always on. It's always there.
I'm watching Angels in the Outfield, but I'm also watching Hard to Kill on my phone.
On my not even on like on my flip phone, my Razor phone.
It looks like Mario Brothers.
It's like 12 frames per second. But Under Siege, I think, is...
Oh, my God.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Under Siege is a better movie.
Sure, I agree.
And I think Steven Seagal's character is better, and I think it's just, it's more action,
Yeah.
But I'm going with Hard to Kill.
All right.
Because I hold a special place in my heart. I saw it when I was like 8, and I've never looked back. Every Friday since I was 8.
That's right. Every Friday.
Even when I go on a trip, if I'm in Canada or Vegas or Colorado, I'm like, I gotta bring my DVD.
I love your mental Rolodex of thinking, what places have
Well, yeah, I've been to, less than 10 places, but I've been to places. And every time, got that DVD copy because maybe the hotel has a DVD player. Could I please play this in the recreation room?
I've even seen you working on your Hard to Kill fan fiction.
Hey, that's for my eyes only.
It's surprisingly less sexual than the movie.
Well, sex scares me. Well, you heard it here with Purd, folks. Hard to Kill is hard to dethrone, even though this is the only match it's had.
Folks, if you are not locked in a locker, if you're not under siege, and if you're not in a coma, why don't you drop us a line at battles@filmfightspodcast.com. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know what battles you would like to see. Maybe we'll share your opinion on the show. And why don't you karate chop your way over to social media, Film Fights Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And while you're at it, why don't you rip the throat out of a bad podcast and rate and review us wherever you're listening to podcasts.
Yeah, evil podcast. Quote.
Yeah, big podcasts telling you what to listen to.
I'm so tired of big podcasts pushing me around.
That's until we can get ads on big podcasts.
Oh, yes. Yeah, then we will be part of the problem.
And I'm going to make it everyone's problem.
And you can take that to the bank. So, let us know everything because we only know some things. And one thing that I know all the time.
Bye!
Between Cage and Blue, what were we talking about? Oh, the little barrels. The little barrels. Now, I want to say one more thing about these barrels. I used to think I was Donkey Kong, and I would throw those barrels onto the ground, and then I would pretend I was Mario, and I would jump over those barrels.
I like that first you didn't say, I liked to pretend I was Donkey Kong. You said, I thought I was Donkey Kong.
No, I said...
And then pretended to be Mario. So you're pretending to be Mario, but as Donkey
Kong. Because I like to have it both ways. I want to steal the girl and save her.
How do I do this? Swing your arms. Then do the Mario.
Do it again.
Do it again.
And then everybody.
You look around, there's no one there.
No.
All right.
No, I was jumping.
Everybody's doing it.
I was jumping over barrels. Anyway,